This is part 4 of my exploration of the Dark Age landmarks of Cutstein in Gloucestershire. These come from 2 Saxon charters which are practically identical, Sawyer number 1335 and Sawyer 1353. You can look them up yourself, Google those words. There are some loose ends to tie up, the biggest one being Brocces Slæde. I couldn't find it. By the way, I've placed Brocces Slæde here because the current parish boundary takes a turn here up the slope to the edge of the escarpment, and the charter reads, of Brocces Slæde ondlang edge, which means from Brocces Slæde along the edge. I translated it as the Slæde, which is Slade today, which is a wooded valley of the brook. Brocces, the vast majority of the time, Brocces comes out as brook in modern English from Old English. But in this case, what is different about this one is that the Brocces comes first. It's as a descriptor of the valley. So it could be, as many of you subscribers have pointed out, be the word brock, which we still use today in a poetic sense. If you see a badger, you might say, oh look, there's Mr. Brock over there. It's a bit archaic, but yes, we have brock, badger, which comes originally from the Welsh. Now, there's very few words that made it into English from Welsh, so it's a bit of a privilege. It could be badger. But I'm still uncertain about where it is. So this video is very much about this, where I think this brook might be, but things have changed since I shot this video from some of your comments and my own explorations. But anyway, this is what I thought at the time, and we'll talk about it as we go through it.
What a beautiful cottage and barns. There's 2 barns here. It just makes you, or 3. Makes you wonder why. And look at the steps on the outside going up to the hayloft, or maybe that's an undercroft, I don't know, whatever. But surely they can convert this. I know it's up on a hill in the middle of nowhere, but surely the farmer's got access. Can he not convert it into a home? You know. I'd love that. I'd absolutely love it. Incidentally, when I went on Wessex, on the Wessex Ways podcast, Paul Whitebeck asked me a question which I couldn't answer, and he said, "Why do people go to Droitwich for salt? It's nowhere near the bloody sea, is it?" And it stumped me. You should know your subject before going on any sort of talk or whatever. Which reminds me, I'm going to be doing a talk at a festival about the Wylye River in late July, early August, and I've been honoured to been asked. But anyway, yes, know your subject. So, because I'm a local historian, I know nothing about the Midlands, well, apart from Gloucestershire, and so it's a bit out of my league, but apparently there is an underground stream, a saltwater stream there, and that's why Droitwich is famous for its salt. And that's why, since the Iron Age, through the Roman period, through the Saxons, through the Middle Ages, through the modern period, salt was exported from there down south to places like London and Bath and Winchester, through places like Cricklade, along the Midlands Ridgeway, but which is why we got these salt paths, these salt ways. This wood is called spring ground wood.
Remember, I'm looking for a brook, rightly or wrongly. And when spring ground wood appears on the OS map, not a million miles away from where this location should be, it caught my interest. bear in mind there's also a blue W to the left, which represents either a well or water, and that might be what spring groundwood is referring to.
I can't see a spring just yet, but there's a possibility. Valley goes down there. I can't see anything that looks like the ditch of a brook. So that looks like a pond or a spring. It's dry now. It certainly looks like it, which means it goes down into the valley down here, then goes down there and then along there and joins up where I think the Brocces Slæde is. It's very green and full of wildflowers, so I expect it is very wet ground. Ooh. Oh, Barrow still exists. This barrow is called Wad Beorh. Wad Beorh. And what that means is the barrow, the Woad Barrow, woad as in blue, the blue plant dye. And it commands a position not on the top of the hill, as many times before we've seen with barrows. Not necessarily on the brow of the hill, this is the brow of the hill really. But placing it there, it gives a commanding view over the valley over there, which I think is the extension of the Brocces Slæde, or certainly a straight line. This Dean here, this valley, and probably most importantly of all, the spring here. I think those three things were important to the man who was buried here, or woman, the owner. So we can't say much more about it. I mean, it would probably be new to many people in this area, knowing that it had a Dark Age name, Wad Beorh, and so I'm happy to put it back out there in the public domain for people. And you should look at, when you're looking at a barrow, look at its position. Why is it placed where it is? There's a lot that we could conjecture, but it's being a locus for the landscape should be true in some sense. You should be able to extrapolate certain bits of information. Whether or not that man hated these two valleys in this spring and was a buffer against them, or he's saying I own all this, or should have owned all this, we don't know. But probably, I mean, if I had to guess, I would say he owned it, or he represented the people that owned this in a way that was really important enough for them to put in serious amounts of man hours into making him a barrow. But anyway, that is my journey today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please subscribe, leave a comment. I enjoy comments. I will, if it's a question, I will likely answer it. So please do ask. Anyway, that's all for now. I'll speak to you soon. Ta-ra.